Hey guys, here's part 3 now. What if the heroes and villains in Dragon Ball had swap places, or whatever I'm calling it? Like, I'm still recording them like all at once because like I want to do daily uploads. So who knows what it's actually called? But like, yeah, let's don't attack me, guys. So here's part 3. Let's get right into it. So we now look at Goku and Kami training together in Kami's lookout, as Goku has realized that, Kami realized that there's a lot of knowledge here that Kami had actually not looked into, and Goku was quite curious on this Kaioken technique that Kami could do before, as Kami then explains to Goku how this was an attack called, this is called the Kaioken, taught by King Kai, a Kai in the other world, which is the world where people go to when they die. As Goku is quite interested in this technique and the multiplication of power it provides. As Kami then says, I would teach it to you, but I think it would be much more effective and you'd get much stronger if you were to train with this King Kai yourself. As Goku then says, sure, I'll go train with this Kai. But I don't trust you. What are you gonna be doing in the meantime? As Kami then says, well, I'm gonna do some more reading and meditation, and maybe learn more about this Piccolo guy that Kami was talking about. That's I'm supposedly the other half of. So they both have their goals, as Kami then sends Goku to Otherworld, as King Yama then looks at Goku and says, you're an evil one, aren't you? As he laughs at Goku. And Goku says, what do you want, Red Man? As King Yama then says, don't blame me, but I don't think there's nowhere for you other than hell. So if you fall off Snake Way, don't feel bad. You're just going where you belong. As Goku then says, sure, I don't think you want to send me there because I don't think they could control what I am able to do. As then basically Goku then gets sent off to Snake Way. King Yama is not really afraid of Goku, and King Yama isn't really good per se either. He's more of a neutral force in this scenario because you can make him a villain, but I'm not going to say he's good guy either. He just does his job, and he's friends with some villains and some heroes alike. He's just a neutral guy. So Goku then goes on to Snake Way, similar things happen as in the original, because I'm sure no one wants to cover that. So we'll just say 8 months later, using his Ozaru powers, and since he's much stronger than usual, he makes it to Snake Way in 8 months or whatever, and he meets King Kai. King Kai looks at him and starts laughing. He's like, Kami really did it this time. He said he was sending a strong guy. Who knew he was going to send an 8-year-old kid? As Goku says, actually, I'm 16, first of all. And second of all, try fight me, and I think you'll be quite surprised. I'm actually as strong as Kami. Which surprises King Kai, as King Kai knows that Kami knows the Kaioken, and he wonders what power this boy must have that allows him to compete. As King Kai then decides to test it out. As they do a brief spar, King Kai using his Kaioken and Goku using his Ikari state that he can kind of control. However, if he's in it for too long, he goes berserk. So King Kai then understands that this isn't a human power, and after doing some research, he realizes that Goku is a Saiyan, but he decides to keep this to himself, as he wonders what could have made a Saiyan so evil. But that's not King Kai's business. That's just something he'll check on later. As King Kai and Goku then start training. Goku learns the basics, learns about this Kaioken. He gets it down in a few months. Now he has been away from it for around 10 months. And eventually King Kai, Goku satisfied knowing how to do the Kaioken times 2. But King Kai says, there's something about you that just seems pure evil. No offense. But there are not many people like that, like pure in any form. As Goku says, I don't see myself as pure evil, but like whatever you say, man. And then King Kai says, well, anyway, doesn't matter. All that matters is your energy which gives you the ability to do something quite interesting. How would you want to learn something that Kami could not? Something called the Spirit Bomb. As Goku's intrigued about this power called the Spirit Bomb, as he then decides to stay for 2 months longer to learn this, meaning now he's been away from the Earth for a year. Now, let's cue back to what has been happening on planet Earth. Basically, Bulma had to strategize. Now we go back a year, so this is around the time Goku just left to King Kai's. Bulma has been working on experimenting on the Z fighters, basically Tien, Taotsu, Yamcha, Roshi, Gohan. They're all getting like cyborg like enhancements and stuff. They're all becoming much more powerful. But then something gives Bulma an idea. She remembers these peel-off guys and how they were barely alive, and she's sure that they were able to capture them, meaning that somehow without Capsule Corp's like billions and trillions of dollars, they were able to actually do some attack Goku somehow, which gave her an idea. So she launches spy drones to find them, and she finds them carrying a rice cooker. As she sees how they open this, they accidentally drop this rice cooker, peel off shouting and Maya, and they're all making noise until something pops out of the rice cooker. A huge energy comes around them as they see a tall green old man look at them. But surprisingly, this man doesn't look too evil, as the guy just stretches and says, oh my, I've been in there for a long time. It's been over 200 years. So Pilaf and his gang, they jump back. As then the old man introduces himself. He's like, yeah, my name is Piccolo, basically I'm the slug, I'm the slug king, I guess. Demon King, supposedly, but he doesn't really but I'm not really a bad guy. He at first he wanted to take over the world, he still does, but he realized it's not fun when everything is destroyed and stuff. He prefers a world where everyone's peaceful, because when everything's peaceful, he's able to have good food, life is more enjoyable when everything's peaceful and good. So he wants a peaceful world, but he got sealed here by his other half. So basically they realize that this guy is actually quite strong, and they think he might be able to beat Goku. So they fill him in on what's happened in the last 200 years, and they tell him about this guy called Goku. And Piccolo realizes that this could be a bit of a problem, but he's sure he'd be able to beat him if he was in his youthful state, because right now he's an old man, and even before he was stronger than Kami, but unfortunately due to teamwork they managed to seal him. So basically what happens now is they start brainstorming until they see Bulma's drone, as the Pilaf gang are scared, as they know they're in big trouble. As Bulma then steps out of a spaceship, steps out of a helicopter or a plane, and comes to meet them. And she comes with Roshi, and she demands for the Pilaf gang to give her Piccolo. The Pilaf gang's hell nah, we found him first, but Bulma threatens to kill them. As Piccolo realizes that this Bulma lady isn't too good of a lady, and says that these guys are under him, as he is the Demon King Piccolo, and these are his servants now. So if she wants anything with him, then she better stop talking down to subordinates. As Bulma then accepts this. But Demon King Piccolo looks closer at the man standing next to her and realizes that this is Roshi, the student of the man who sealed him away long ago. And Piccolo asks Bulma what she's doing with that man, and that is pure evil. As Bulma then says, I know. And they then capture Piccolo. As they then say, doesn't matter if they're good, evil. I just want power, you see, Piccolo. And this is how I'm gonna get it. So they then take Piccolo into her lab, and they start experimenting on him. They realize that this guy has regenerative abilities to stretch his arms, like longer stamina. He doesn't need food to survive. And this gives Bulma some ideas. And she then adapts some of this DNA with Dr. Gero, and so making the Z-Vitals much stronger, and creating her own android by taking over Piccolo's body, basically, and controlling him. Calling it android, like you could just calling him android green, I guess. So now they've made much stronger androids than before. Like, they made these guys into quite like very strong androids now. So time passes and they're now like just chilling out, training. Everyone's happy that they're much stronger. Like Gohan isn't planning to die anytime soon, because now he's like basically an android. Like, they realize they're all good, and they decide to go where Goku was, as they then go up to Kami's lookout. They then go up there and they see a solitary green man standing there looking at them, with a man next to him, a genie per se. Turning out that this is actually Mr. Popo. Like, Popo was so pissed off that Goku ripped off his arm, and Kami actually took a bit of pity on him. So Popo then decided to train actually with Kami, and to not to become super powerful, but to be able to stand a chance against foes stronger than him, in his own way. As then they both look at these fighters, as basically Bulma doesn't fight, so she didn't come here by herself. Instead, she sent out basically Master Roshi, and she sent out Master Roshi and Tien and Chaozu for now. So basically, Master Roshi says, out of respect to an old friend, I'm not gonna fight you, even though I need Goku, and I wanna see how strong I am. So instead, Tien steps out to fight this Kami guy, while on the other hand, Chaozu, he's not weak at all these days actually, but because of the enhancements, he's actually quite strong. He could have probably fought Kami before he fused with Saxophone, and before all this training. He's still quite powerful now due to these android enhancements actually. So Mr. Popo steps in front of Chaozu and says, if you want to get to these guys, you're going to have to pass through me. As he says, follow me right here. As Chaozu then follows Mr. Popo into this time chamber, as Popo has realized that his plan can now come into motion. And now, basically, Kami and Tien start to battle. And unsurprisingly, actually, Kami wins because he has superior techniques. He has access to the Kaioken. He has Sensu beans because they're in his home territory. But Tien was a force to reckon with, so Kami is quite injured and is worried on what Roshi can do if this was Tien, because Tien doesn't have access to all these techniques. And even though Roshi was an old man now because of the android enhancements, it doesn't really make a difference. So Roshi and Kami start battling, and this is a much harder fight to deal with. and actually Kami's on the back ropes. So this is a bit of a bad situation until Kami remembers his training with Goku and how Goku would always find a way to beat his limits. And then he decides to use his own Kaioken. He uses a Kaioken times 4 this time, breaking his limits and managing to defeat Master Roshi. And it ends with a Kamehameha clash, as Kami also learnt it, because it was one of the techniques he picked up from Goku. And yeah, Roshi loses. However, someone steps out who Kami would have never expected to see in his wildest dreams. His brain knowing who it is immediately, as he sees a green man, imposing and looking very strong. And this man says, "My name is Piccolo, but you can call me Android Green," as his eyes turn a color of red as he then launches towards Kami to attack. Goku then gets notified about this by King Kai, and King Kai knows that Kami is in a dangerous situation. Like, there's no way Kami is gonna win, because Piccolo has been buffed up in ways that they didn't even buff up the other Z fighters. As Goku then sprints off and launches out to try and save his only friend. And we'll leave it off over here for now.